Stream on. Cool new music. Once again, rocking the super lo-fi 64. These Zelda and video game lo-fi tracks are a major inspiration to the ongoing efforts. Cheers to the creators of those. All right, recap. Quickly blaze through all that we've done and been through. It's been a very busy, I guess at this point, several months of coloring. It's interesting. I feel like I really just started on these. We've done so much and learned a lot. Hi, Jules. Thanks for dropping in. I know you get back to studying. Get back to work. Here, quickly look at this one. This one turned out cool. Here, I think this is the final right here. I'm gonna post this today. The finished art. I think it looks good. I look at it here. I see it here. It looks good. I don't want to noodle it forever. Let's move on to the next one. Inferno the Ranger. Or the Rager. Welcome. It's an early one for me today, but I'm excited. Inferno, check this one out. You definitely probably haven't seen this one. It's a fun young Link versus a cemetery ghost. I wanted to have this one ready in time for Halloween. Not that it'll amount to much necessarily, but we can hope. I'll put it on the socials. Sell posters. The I'll tell you, these make nice desktop wallpapers. I could probably do my own because it's epic. Thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. I'm definitely becoming more Nab one is my wallpaper then, yeah. Here, if you, I always have to do this the hard way. But I'll post this to the, my Discord. My Discord is like super, like, not busy. But I'll post the, like, the high-res version there, right? You can see it. Because if you're just downloading it off of a social or getting a screen grab, it wouldn't be the right thing. Let's invite people. How do I do this? It's so funny because it won't let me, OBS won't just let me post it in, but I can, You don't use Discord? Not very good. Well, you know, other than, I don't know. If you, here, I'll leave these up for a bit. You can, if you find me through any of these outfits, we can find a way to get you the full res. If you really want to. I'm literally using this as my desktop, and it just looks rad. It's cool to see. And good on you for not using Discord. I barely use it myself. It's just more distracting social media, really. It's useful for some things, but anyway, how long did it take you to make? I think it's hard to quantify. I don't have a, let's look here. Oops. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Let's see here. I probably took about 4 hours to get to here, which is the treated color flatted version, because previously there was a very quick rough sketch, and then inking, and then color flatting, and then it gets treated, which is just a darkening filter. That gets us to here, and then, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then like another 15 minutes got it here. So this is probably like 14 hours. I think it's pretty good for a pretty epic composition. I mean, it's digital. What's interesting is, you know, I don't know. I mean, this is so complex, I wouldn't want to, but there's no reason I can't make a print of something like this. See, Zelda's an IP that you can't really profit off of fan art the way you can. I mean, you can, but it's not, it's in a legal area that as a professional, I can't feign ignorance about. Let's move on. All right, so on deck, we have the last 4 of our first series, which is going to be... Here, let me make my stupid face go away. We've got Link versus the Wallmaster. This will be cool. Although you can't tell right now, there's going to be fire in the background from this fire-breathing statue. And then this is Link versus Manhandla, which is an old-school Zelda enemy. This one is probably going to be my all-time favorite. I would definitely go the extra mile there. So this is Link versus Tektites on Death Mountain. That'll be badass. Got some blood there. And then this will be extra epic, where it's Link versus and all these moblins and bokoblins, and Zelda's in there too. And it's just a funny, crazy mayhem. Anyway, yesterday was my birthday. Did my 42nd, had my family over. We all went and got Mexican food. That's good times. Happy about all that. And I'm really happy to be in the home stretch. Like knocking out these last 4. I think I can do that by, because the thing is, the Thanksgiving holiday will have us, this is the run up to the holidays, which is crazy. So I end up having all this extra shit to do, just for good reason, you know. It's Halloween tomorrow. Then it's the run up to Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. And it just feels like every day is another something. Worst case scenario, I get them all done well before Christmas. But the reason that's bad is because it would mean I'm not busy with work. Today I actually have a line on some work that will come my way. Whenever that happens, I don't want to actually do it. I actually just want to do this stuff. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Let's look at the original rough sketch for this. Looks like this. So this is cool. I felt like this was a pretty cool concepted piece. Link dodging out of the way as a giant Wallmaster nearly crushes him. Fire blazing in the background. Let me do a quick flip on the composition, make sure I don't hate it. Yeah, this is still cool. Alright, cool. Alright, so we know we like it. Some of the stuff you never know. Yeah. All right. So I still dig this. By the way, did you see the comment I posted on your YouTube? So you did the haircut comment. Must have been, right? Thank you for outing yourself. I really have no clue. You know, everybody has a different handle on different media. But I appreciate the engagement. I appreciate the interaction. Here's a little peek down the road is the... when I get done with... Because I have like 29 subscribers and 182 videos. This is a little lopsided with the interactions versus the output. And of course, I'm just uploading VODs, which isn't... That's somewhat low effort. Although I'm doing a good job here, I think. But the... comments, yeah. Yeah, this must be you, the real N for X. Oh my god, you got a haircut. Okay, that's very cool. So is this you? You're a YouTuber then? You have 63 subscribers. Alright, good. Alright, well, here, I'll... You did the weirdest vids. So I'll be honest with you, I've had some people where I'm like, who is this person? And then I'll click on them and I'll be like, is this even a real person? Is this a bot? Is this like AI? So I've seen, what is this? Non-vegans should die. So actually, I consume brain rot content like this all the time. I'll sign into you with my actual account here, over here. There, you got me. This is cool. I like the Pikachu outfit and stuff. I'll check out your stuff. It's, I try to be a good neighbor with the little thing I'm doing. Are you a Zelda fan? An art fan? It's interesting for me to figure out why anybody is interested in seeing art made the slow, hard way. Although I think I'm fighting a good fight here. I'm just trying to learn about, I don't know, what's an audience? What's an audience for what I do? You don't know anything about Zelda? How is that possible? I guess Pokemon took over the whole part of your brain that might have room for Zelda. Think of Zelda as Pokemon, but with puzzles. You can... Yeah, Zelda had the original catch things in a bottle. Okay, this will shock nobody, but the we're gonna have a lighting scheme for this that is gonna have. Are you ready for this? It's gonna blow your mind. Ambient blue light filling the space behind the camera, and behind the Wallmaster, we're gonna have light coming from the fire that is spewing out from this giant, statue in the background that is breathing fire. And there will be pockets of light here in the foreground as well that will have some firelight. So it's not just going to be... There will be pieces of light from all over. It's going to be kind of difficult. This will be a challenge for me to execute. But we'll figure it out together. First things first, though. Starting to make it real by getting a little bit of lighting treatment in there. Bit by bit. Just knock them out. Inferno, what time is it where you are? This is my haphazard way of geo-guessing. Ooh, that's a lot. I mean, it's entirely possible you were just following me because you adored my long hair, and I understand if that's the case. That could have been quite the shock and betrayal. You wouldn't be alone in that. This track, I'm not sure I love. No, that's okay. Anyway, this will be a longer stream. I'll probably go 3 hours from now, so that's kind of cool. Get a lot done today. I need to do more of that instead of... Oh, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say, but I'm going to say it now. I'll probably start doing a simulcast stream or something. Because right now I'm streaming to Twitch, and of course it's perfect for... We're doing exactly this, but considering I'm also just pretty much immediately uploading the VODs to YouTube after the fact, it may make sense for me to just simulcast and then save myself that bigger step, and then theoretically reach to a bigger audience. Now, I don't know how it would work with like chats and stuff like that. I'd have to figure out a way to get overlays working, and I've wanted to do that anyway. But that feels like something I can get to down the road. One thing that's true is the the chatting and engagement, which I appreciate, can be distracting. Especially when I'm prompted for a take on something I'm passionate about, like AI art or something. I'm liable to go off and start foaming at the mouth. No one needs that. It's sort of a mixed blessing, because it's like, I don't really want like a large amount of exposure. But I wouldn't turn down, I guess, some, I don't know. Like, for instance, the last thing I'd want is for my regular clients to more or less start regarding me as a streamer. That wouldn't be good for business generally. I think that would sort of out me as a potential leak or go against my reputation for discretion. It's unfair, but it's true. Well, it's unfair if it's not deserved. If it is deserved, it's true. But clients do sometimes get... They're compelled sometimes to dabble in the world of agencies and brands will sometimes come up with the brilliant idea of, hey, let's collaborate with such and such influencer. And it's often indulged, but it can be a double-edged sword. Yeah, you do get better penetration with a specific audience, but then that person isn't necessarily primed or ready to handle the takes. Like, hey, how do you not say the wrong thing about the brand? It's like PR stuff, you know. Trying to be very specific about this color. So I won't name names, but I've definitely seen it happen with influencer artists where they're like, this will be great. This person will be part of the collab and it'll be great. And then that specific influencer has never worked in production and has no idea what it's like to be part of a pipeline or accountable to deadlines or like the real work side of being an artist professionally. Making changes you don't want to make. If I got on that side of the equation, wouldn't blame my clients for having reservations about proceeding as normal. You can start to see how quickly we can get a sense of light working on a form with this approach. Let's try it now with the skin. Ooh. Jules is not reminding me to save. All right, to add blue light, go to our RGB sliders and we pretty uniformly bump them up in the same proportions. And this relationship, if it's preserved as we bump them up, it'll keep the same hue. Generally. And then adding blue light will further brighten it, but move it closer towards the blue. I'm imagining this light, this blue light. It's just as if we were pointing a blue flashlight directly at the subject. Like a soft blue flashlight somehow. Definitely gotta light the eyes and the teeth. It won't look right until we do. Such a subtle thing. Look at the difference. The top. It's the same formula. Brighter. Adding blue light. Doesn't have to be exact. Inferno, welcome back. Inferno, I wanted to ask you what time it is where you are. I apologize if I've ever asked that before. But I'm curious. Because it's 4 a.m. in Los Angeles where I am. Which is, these are odd hours for artists to keep, but this has been the winning formula for me so far. With this, streaming adventure. Funny because looking at this, our eyes really crank up all the differences in the colors, because there are differences in the colors and our eyes are used to making the most out of them. But if you just use the eyedropper and click around on some of these things, they're all just different shades of gray. I mean, obviously the image is dark and it's gray, but you see all these variations of color. It's all there. But mathematically, there's such small I mean, I guess maybe not mathematically, but I'm just always shocked to see what I imagine, what I expect to be, oh, this is a dark saturated blue, and I come over here and I'm like, wow, that's very just dark gray, like it could be any color almost. It's interesting. It just occurred to me now that Inferno, you don't know anything about Zelda. Half the music we've been listening to on this stream is Zelda music. Like, you should get into Zelda just for the music. It's incredible. There's some Pokemon tracks on this album. But in case you're curious, it's called Super Lo-Fi 64. It's on Spotify. It's kind of cool. If you like any of this. I'm indebted to the musical creators who have, much like me, they probably work tirelessly for their passions. The dubious promise of return. colors of love. It's the best kind. Color of the sword hilt is dark gray. If we bump up all these, keeping the relationship, they're all just lined up. That's still gray. Adding blue to that. And that is our color. That's an interesting question. Where if the color of the blue is coming directly from behind camera, I mean, that can get honed in later on, but it would almost be like it needed to be evenly split down this line because it's sort of bifurcating the angle. But just getting a general sense of like the gradient of the light is enough for now. The general sense of the soft direction of the light. It'll help us a lot on the way. The sword is super gray, maybe a little bit bluish. Make it brighter overall, and then add more blue. And then make it just a little bit bluer where it's towards the camera. Just looking at the perspective, it's clear enough. So like this song, for instance, is Zelda's Lullaby. Like a famous Zelda arrangement. Given how much fire I'm going to throw into the background, I don't know if it makes sense to get too specific about how light is working in terms of the blue light. These relationships are, the blue light relationships are likely going to get, at least in part, obliterated. The intensity and the scale of the light from the fire. Here, I'll try to... How can I do this? Get a rough sense of where a shadow for Link might be on the ground. Yeah. That's not too bad. Okay, now we get some of that blue light on the Wallmaster. Now the Wallmaster design, it's basically a giant zombie hand that's already very bluish in color, like this pale zombie blue. So that's why the adding blue light to it is like activating it. It's like home to it. It's very receptive to this blue light, which is good. It's supposed to be. It's sort of the point of it. The blue light isn't really going to get underneath it, nor on the top planes. Maybe somewhat, but the blue light isn't coming from the sky as much as it's coming from like behind our camera. What could be a natural source of blue light at that angle? Well, you could imagine that perhaps behind us, let's say 100 feet behind us, there was a like a south-facing window or portal door letting in afternoon light or early morning. Yeah. It could be emanating from magic. It could be emanating from... There are so many different things, like, and this really sparks the storytelling. Could be a portal. What if it was a magical pool of water, for instance? You know, you could imagine blue light emanating from that. And then you really start thinking, it's like you can think of all sorts of things that light could be emanating from. By the way, am I allowed to post links? You are. You totally are. You know why? Because I like to live dangerously. So, go ahead. Do you have something to... I mean, don't post any political shit, but... want you to rate your drawing. Oh, I really appreciate that. To the extent I can, I want to foster artistic education on this stream. Also, it takes major guts to put yourself out there, man. I just posted a couple random photos on your Instagram now. Do I follow you on Instagram? Oh, and here's your Instagram. Okay. Now you're going to open up over here. Okay, this is great. Let me bring this over. This is what I like to see. This has my eye all of a sudden. Is this, this is Brawl Stars. The Supercell stuff. Okay. Which one did you want me to rate? This stuff? All these look good. Let's see here. Well, let me tell you what I can tell. Oh, you're wishing me happy birthday. This is nice. How'd you know it was my birthday yesterday? What is your... Okay, let me tell you some things I can tell. I can tell this is a very small notebook. Are you left-handed? Yeah, because the writing on, doing anything on this side of the page would be pretty rare if you were right-handed. And I'm left-handed too, so congrats. You and I are in a, we're in a special class of, you know, we're a disenfranchised minority of oppressed people, and we're very elite, but, you know, there's a lot of disinformation about lefties out there. It really needs to be combated. We need more representation, all right? Because we are a minority that we need to fight back against the oppression, is what I'd say. All right, are you enrolled in any art classes? I'm trying to gauge your sense of seriousness. The this looks good for the what I'd say is sort of, are you in your teens? This is a little bit loaded, but what I can tell is that you haven't actually done a lot of you're 15. You should not be on Twitch, my friend. Well, I guess you're old enough for Twitch. This is interesting. You're 15. I see you in these pictures and you look like you have a beard. That's amazing. I'm 42 and I can barely grow a mustache. That's not to say I'm skeptical, but you don't have photos on your Insta? Do I? Here? Is this not you? Or is this just something you, Oh. What are your videos? Yeah, these are your videos, right? No. So this isn't you. Oh. That's a brain rot guy. Okay, you're making fun of him. Okay, I get it now. That's hilarious. I get it. You're making fun of him as your content. Okay, you're reacting to it. That's good, good, good. I thought that was you because you had my channel as a reaction. Very good, very good. Okay, good. All right, first I'd like to say I apologize for any cursing I might do. This isn't a necessarily like an adult stream or anything like that, but it's more geared towards 16 plus in that I tend to curse. I'll try to curb that as a general rule, though. I'm aware that there could be a younger audience floating around. So this looks great for 15. And obviously I can tell you... No, you're not into Zelda? How are you not into Zelda, buddy? Aren't you aware there's like a movie coming out that's gonna like explode the universe? This looks like you're very hip to the anime, right? I don't recognize this character, but I wouldn't hold that against me or you. I'm just not super hip on it. This is cool to see, though. Okay, let me go back. Now, are you drawing these from your imagination? I can tell you're not doing a lot of sort of like construction line stuff. Do you know what I mean by that? Like the skeleton guy is the original character. Okay, this is cool. This harkens back to my time as a teenager growing up with Image Comics when that was a new thing. But the others are from references. Are these from other references that you saw that were drawn? Or were they straight from the... This is such a funny thing. To me, this is brain rot, where you point to things and say ruined or lol. It's a mixture. Okay. Where do you get your references from when you draw stuff? Your heads look good. Like, this guy looks badass. Everything else is reading, I think, as you would in Pinterest. Yeah. Pinterest is total brain rot. This is cute, too. Your, this sword is trash. No, it's, I want you to keep drawing weapons because I can tell you like it, and they're a great analog for learning perspective and construction. So, like, keep drawing swords, but make them look better, and then draw them from different angles. And then what you'll find is the same knowledge and mental calculations that you do to draw a sword in perspective is the same calculation you use to draw like a arm in perspective, basically. Think about how nunchucks, for instance, you know, you'll have an articulation. You know what I'm talking about, nunchucks, right? Nunchaku. Yeah. You understand, right? Yeah. Like if you know how to draw like nunchucks, for instance, and especially if you can figure out like the geometry and the understanding of like how these chain links work and how they connect, this is the perfect analog for anatomy, at least skeletal anatomy. And this would be the that would be, I think, the killer analogy for you to get, because what I see is a lot of great understanding of the nuance of expression and character. Like your hair is great, and you don't seem to have much problem with like conveying the intent. Like I don't look at this and I'm wondering like, well, what is he trying to draw? You know, all this is clear. Like this is nice stuff. Your hands need work, but your hands will be helped by drawing the nunchucks. This is just my off-the-cuff stuff. Give it a shot. Why not? But your poses will, when you understand that, like, how an arm holds together and the muscles in it, it's just exactly like nunchucks and chain links. There's a great Jim Lee drawing chain links. Something like that. Is there something like this? Was it Jim Lee or was it another artist? And Jim Lee's great, but let's see, chain link anatomy. Okay, I can't find what I'm looking for. To be honest, these drawings are from a few months ago, but they're my faves. Would you like me to show me the newer ones? Yeah, post anything. Here, let me show you what I mean about the chain link stuff. Oops. This is, when I was 14. When I was 14, I was not drawing much better than you, but I decided to take it seriously at the expense of all else in my life. I decided to forego school and my parents' wishes and academics and everything, and I was like, it's going to be art or bust for me. And I took it seriously from then on. And if you take anything seriously when you're a teenager, you will see huge progress, especially if you... I won't advocate for this, but if you find yourself unable to concentrate on your homework, but you can concentrate on your drawings, then that's perhaps a good indication. All right, so like, let's say that we had interlocking chains like this. You can see like the concept of the interlocking chains happening here. You can kind of get the sense of it, right? Well, this is like muscle, right? So there's the shoulder intercepting with the bicep. The tricep is back here. This is super simplified, but you can see this is really, it really is like how the anatomy of the arm works. And here's the wrist. And then it gets further and further subdivided where you get the hand and the fingers. You you know, it's super rough, but do you sort of see what I mean? I mean, this looks like shit, but it's it's a thing that I think if you, because drawing, especially at when you're young, when you're young, you sort of understand drawing as like symbols. The really important thing, but don't push it. Don't push it hard. Like, it's totally, like, this is not, you posted a couple new drawings. Okay, cool. I'll check them out in 2 seconds. The, like, when we're young, we see the, like, art as individual chunks of symbols, and especially, you're not that young. Well, if you're 15, you're young to me because I'm 42. And your brain is especially pliable right now. But the so much of art is it's because I shaved, yeah. But I'm lucky. I have very little gray hair. I have like one gray hair, like right here. I'm very self-conscious about it. But my beard is very gray when it grows in. You thought 30s. Oh, bless you. Bless you for flattery. But seriously, the concept of things as unconnected, unrelated chunks of symbols that can be drawn well. Like, you just like, okay, I can draw a sword, I can draw a face, I can draw an eye, I can draw a nose. It'll take like do all that well, continue to do what you're doing, but it generally can take a good amount of time before you really start to, okay, let me refresh. I'm super interested. Inferno, a lot of what I'm trying to do here, I think with this is, I'm extremely anxious about the, like, I'm doing good with what I do. I think I probably said I do storyboards for advertising as a living. This isn't, it's not been a bad career at all. For me, it's been very good, I would say. But what's weird is there's not right now what I consider a very viable path for younger artists to come up. Certainly not the same way that I did, and I'm not sure how one really gets into doing what I'm doing if they had to start it from scratch. It's really, it's not clear where one can really learn these skills without being distracted by algorithms that try to teach you stuff that isn't really knowledge. It's not really good. Okay, here I go to going to refresh your. Oh, here, I'll just scroll up on your thing and I'll click the thing again. This is good. Okay, here we go. This is cool. Obviously, this is Monsters Inc. guy. That looks great. Your proportions, I want to compliment you on your proportions. It doesn't look like you're struggling. What I can also tell is that you're not erasing much. Now, it could just be you're not showing me any bad drawings that you've done, which is fine, but I don't see a lot of struggle here. You're not making bad marks for the most part that I can tell. So I think you have a natural aptitude for this. It doesn't look like you're tearing a lot of pages out of your book in frustration. This is going to be hard for me to do, but hold on. This is excellent. I can tell it's excellent. This drawing, you've done a portrait of somebody here, and it's good. The reason I'm sort of excited to tell you this is because I can tell you don't know what you're doing, but you still did a good job. This is awesome. What is this from? That's from that Simpsons. Is it that Simpsons ripoff show or something? Happily never after. No, that doesn't make sense. I can also tell you're drawing from, okay, this is, you've got an interest in shading. Yeah, dude, you're, oh, this is cool. I can tell you've, like, this is good foreshortening on a hand. Is this an original composition, or was this a study? This one in particular. I smudged it so many times I got annoyed. Oh, you're smudging. Oh, that's fun. Was that on purpose? I know as a lefty, it's, sometimes it's hard to avoid. I spent so long trying to draw this from a reference image. You did really good. The, okay, yeah. Yeah, the smudging is real. It's okay. I don't hold it against you. Your stuff looks really good. I think this this sort of notebook, filling a sketchbook, this is just the best thing for you to do. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing what you're doing here. I think the most important thing is keep drawing what you're interested in. I took a screenshot of this so I could flip it around. So let's see here. Just rotate this. Okay, so this is like Gravity Falls stuff. That's interesting. Was this a, I don't know if I've seen this composition before. Was that a concept you came up with, or was it that from a reference? So I understand the IP. But the idea of the balloon as the nose is kind of cool. And now I'm curious about these two. Did you, were these from reference? And by the way, when I'm not inferring that drawing from reference is bad. That's pretty much at 15 through 18. I wouldn't expect you to have, I can't draw without references. I was that way from when I was, when I started taking it seriously at 14 all the way through until I was 21. I could not draw anything without a reference. So the one in green on Instagram, the one in green is the one without a reference. Let's see here. Let's see what you're talking about. Did I miss something? Which one in green? The one in green is without reference. In the Bill Cipher photo. The one in green? I'm a little colorblind, by the way, so if something is green in this image, I'm not going to be able to tell what you're talking about. The Gravity Fall in the Bill Cipher. I don't see any green. But that's not, I have a mild, the upside down. Okay, so it's this guy. I guess he looks mildly green. I'm like, how could I tell? How could I possibly know if that's green? Anyway, you can tell I'm a little colorblind, but it's not dramatic, but the subtleness of the green is not, I guess now that you say it, I do see it, but I wouldn't have picked that up. This is cool. Do you ever play Clash of Clans? Only noticing that you seem to have an affinity for Brawl Stars. Listen, all this stuff looks good, and I love also that you play occasionally. Did I tell you about this? I was a storyboard artist on the Clash movie, Lost and Crowned, and I've done. I showed you. Okay, good. Okay, I must sound like an old man. I'm like, I can't remember what story I told you, so I'm just gonna retell you all the stories. I really like that you have this interesting aptitude for actually taking a sketch to where it feels like it's like a finished sketch, and it doesn't look like you're laboring the entire way. I also really appreciate the range, your willingness to sort of see that, like, I can tell you're probing the edges of what you're good at. Do you have any short-term goals for you? Let me ask you something. Do you erase much? I wonder if you'll catch where I'm going with this. You do need more. I would say sometimes. I can't tell if you're erasing much at all. It looks to me like what you were doing is you're being very judicious with your very light line work, and then you're comfortable with committing to your lines. And it doesn't look like you're being very off with your line work when you start. So where you end up putting these final lines is very similar to where you're starting. You're not drifting or making a lot of course corrections, and your proportions are really solid. That's a testament to, you know, I think your instincts on this stuff. I would say proceed with doing this. I hate rubbing things out. Yeah, you should. I really appreciate that you are challenging yourself this way. This, to be able to draw, if this was what this looks like is that it's like a real person drawn from a photo or maybe even from life, it would be extremely advanced for you to be able to pull this off in any sort of serious capacity at your age. I would not I would not expect you to be able to do anything like that and have it look amazing, but if you can, that's amazing. Simply being able to do this stuff and just do, it's really about the mileage. I can tell you have a talent and an aptitude for this, so you have to proceed. I think if this is certainly in your interest, and it looks like it is, just fill this sketchbook up with all sorts of studies and references. Whatever the rate you're doing it, just do it twice as fast. Do it twice as fast. You want to get there where you're, because I can tell you're not struggling. I want you to do this where you're not even thinking about it. And when you're really doing it without even thinking about it, and you can just fill up tons of stuff, like filling up a notebook, like several pages in a weekend or whatever. My friend can draw realistically really well, so I have a high bar raised for my expectations. This is my second almost full notebook. That's awesome. Just keep going with it, and your friend can draw realistic really well. I wonder what that means. I wonder if I have any old Max art I can show you. I don't really want to flex much. One thing I'm conscious of, when I was a younger artist, I was really, really good. And when I began to really distinguish myself apart from my peers, what I unfortunately saw was they sort of became a little bit less interested in expressing themselves through art. It sort of felt like they ceded the art race. I was like, well, Max is so good that I'm not even going to try anymore. So they just stopped drawing, and it more or less, that's something that tends to happen with me, as I sometimes inadvertently, but I can dominate. But that's why you try harder. I would have preferred my friends try to keep up, because they were not beyond significant improvement, and I would have loved to have more peers, but it's how it goes. to crush them. It's something that I'm glad you have this attitude. The I'm a little bit competitive about it myself, but not in any sort of like super serious way. But I really like challenges, and when I meet other people who are really talented artists, it sparks something in me where I'm like, well, now I want to do even better. I got to get out there and crush it more. So this is a good attitude to have. I wonder if I can show something though. Let's see here. Old Max art. Let's see if searching for that on my. This stream, this venture where, let me tell you something. It used to be that I would be every day in a studio where I would be doing this sort of stuff, doing what I'm doing. But we would have also younger interns. Now, people, you know, older than you, people in their 20s, you know, early 20s or out of college or whatever, or production assistants, young people in the industry coming up. But there would be opportunities for us to like bump elbows, and therefore I could, you know, give opportunities of hints, and kind of what I'm trying to do to you right now is sort of like, hey, you can instill some encouragement, because it can be a lonely road to, you have to learn this all on your own, you know. Let's see here. Uchi, welcome. Inferno is a, Uchi, you gotta watch your language today. I know you're a guttermouth, just kidding. But Inferno is a young artist that has impressionable ears, so let's not, let's keep it all PG rated. No, I'm just kidding. We can be real, but the, let's see here. I'm trying to find art from when I was young. That's a lovely picture of my wife. I didn't mean to do that. Here. I'm trying to find old pictures, so let's see here. You're not that young. You're not. No, when I was your age, I was sneaking into rated R films and smoking pot and doing all sorts of shit you shouldn't do. But let's see here. Okay, that's not mine. That's all the inspirational stuff. That'll have to be a moment for another. I need to get more organized with my old stuff. Old Max art. Wait. Here it is. Okay, wait. We're gonna look at these. Okay. These are more from my 20s. I painted this when I was 16. And this. Now these are bad photos. That was from when I was 20. 2021. Okay, I did this in high school. These are bad. This is from a photo reference. This is from like the Oklahoma City bombing. Okay, yeah, here it is. Max with a cap reduced his age by 20. Yeah, I shaved and got a haircut, and I am much younger now. I just turned 42, so now I'm completely... Okay, here's a portrait I did of my friend being super high. And I did that when I had to have been 18 here, 17, 18. God damn it. Can't make these things work very well. This was a high school assignment. These are ink wash. There's a portrait of Gene Kelly I did for my friend. Here's me. So this is fun. This is me. It's like super high as fuck with my friend. So this is me. What a stud. So let's see here. Yeah, this is me at 16, I think. Whatever you saw, that was not Emma Watson. I think what you're talking about is this this lady. That's not Emma Watson. That was painted live at an art studio. So here's me. These are ink. So Inferno, fill another 3 notebooks. Let's just say. Do exactly what you're doing. Just fill another 3 notebooks. Get the mileage. Get the fluency with your fingertips. It needs to come, like, it just needs to flow. It needs to bypass your cognition part of your brain and just be fully tapped into your emotional. Just like, how do I feel that I want to make this mark? Just do it with your feeling. So more or less you want to be able to make these marks with your subconscious so you can really tap into your expression. You're already doing that, so just keep doing it. Just get the mileage. And then switch to ballpoint pen would be my suggestion, because you're not erasing stuff. You're not really making mistakes. And then, yeah, these are all drawings of me when I'm super high. Okay, these are interesting paintings I was experimenting with when I was a kid. This is a charcoal I did when I was 15, 16. That's a decent, that's the reference I was using. This is good, but the proportion of the hand is huge compared to the head. It bugs the shit out of me. I did this when I was like 18. She doesn't look super pretty here, but this is drawn from life, portrait of my girlfriend at the time. She was quite striking, but she had an interesting look. I don't think it modernized might necessarily appreciate, but no regrets there. This was drawn from life as well. I was taking, like at 15, I was taking this seriously. I was enrolled in a portrait class. Charcoal portrait class, and I've always been a young kid in adult classes. Okay, this is the one. This was my first quote-unquote nude life drawing like session, and you can tell she's covered up a little bit here. Just that happens sometimes in a, you know. But I did this when I was your age, man. Can zoom in a little bit more. I don't know if I love this audio track. Yeah, here, let's switch over to something else. Lo-Fi Leah, this one's great. Okay. And then what else? Here we go. Do a couple more. Okay. Quick sketch there. I did this one when I was 16. This is me and one of my old girlfriends. This is with like marker pen. You know, no pencil here. You've never done any art courses or anything. Art courses are tricky to, let me tell you something. You don't necessarily need to be enrolling. You don't learn that much, or this has been my case, is you don't necessarily learn that much from courses, unless your teacher is amazing. And how many girlfriends did you have? Well, not that many. I'm a serial monogamist, but but you know, this is the face. You can't waste it. This is the 18 minimum. Yeah, I had like 3 girlfriends in high school. This is another one. This is one where it clicked for me, where I started to see the shadow pattern. I did have a good... See, the problem is the 3 girlfriends per year. I'm not really like that. I've been married to I've been with my wife for, let me think here, since 2007, you know, long time. I'm not a get around guy very much. I like to find one and stick with it. Okay, let's see here. I like to dedicate to one thing and then just commit, you know? Wife with the pan and back. Yeah, she's right here. She's ready to throttle me. Yeah. This was a portrait that... This was like the last portrait I did in that portrait class, but it really clicked for me here where I started to understand that the treating the shadow as a mass, like a graphic shape that you could emphasize for the sake of the drawing. It wasn't necessarily like making choices about the marks you make as opposed to just blindly copying was a little bit of a revelation for me. It's not a perfect portrait, but for the you know, for 15, it's pretty good. Pretty good for 15. Okay, so this one I took in a life drawing class, you know, and it's like the class didn't, you don't learn how to draw this stuff in class. It's just a medium in which you can get that experience. And so I drew that in the year 2000. I was 18 here, possibly 17. I had a very brief stint at Vancouver Film School for animation. I'm not Canadian, but I was there for a couple of months, at least, trying to see if I had an interest in an animation career, and I did not. And then this is just another one from reference. Oh no, this was actually drawn from life. So this is a nice little portrait I did of a guy in a costume. So I was probably 15, 16 when I drew this. All right, that's enough of the old phrase. I wonder if there's anything else in here I need to... Okay, this is... Here's me evoking Leonardo as I'm drawing a little villa in Italy. And then this was pretty impressive to me. If you're familiar with the works of Alphonse Mucha, he's a very influential Art Nouveau artist, Slavic, whatever, Hungarian, something like that, from the turn of the century. And this is good. This is a study of work that he did called Hope and Providence, and this is sort of like, you know, basically good and bad fortune. You know, but this is, you know, drew this in pen and brush. No pencil marks. So by this, and I did this at 18. This is a, not a, you know, not a flex, but I was taking this seriously as a teenager. And, you know, so right now I'm incredibly brain rotted and distracted, and I've got, you know, children and bills to pay and stuff like this. But when I was 18, this is in like the year 2000, the internet, smartphones, that stuff didn't exist, and my ability to concentrate uninterrupted and really focus on what I was doing was something else. That was a special rare time in my life, and I'm glad I used it to you know, to put in the time and effort and grind it out. You know, you sacrifice going and doing fun things with your friends so that you can learn stuff and teach it to yourself, really. So, all right, so that's the anyway, Inferno, your stuff looks good. Keep it up. Make less brain rot YouTube, draw more, I would say, or make more YouTube and focus on that. Whatever you want to do, you know. If it's your passion to do the YouTube, do that. If it's your passion to draw, do that, or do as much of either as you wish. But I see great potential. Maybe I should do art vids. What I'm doing here is sort of documenting my process, teaching myself how to teach, myself how to teach myself to like the color work that I do. I'm not paid to do it, and I don't know Like you might have noticed in all the stuff I showed you, there was no real color work. Some of it was like, I guess some of it had, there were a couple pieces that were painted or had color, but that none of it was professional. None of my professional work involves color, and I'm trying to amend for that now, the latter half of my life, noticing that I've got gaps in my knowledge and I want to fix that. So, you know, the streaming and me doing this and teaching myself and, you know, hopefully passing on some knowledge to others is it's sort of an accountability device that I can, but also a documentation of my efforts. I want to do something better than nothing, to feel like if there's a chance for me to mentor or what if there's time left to be a good influence, other than just I don't know, a selfish jerk that, yeah, I got mine, I don't care about anybody else. I can do better than that, right? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little trip down memory lane with the art stuff. I hope it inspires a little bit. I'm gonna try and set a good example. It used to be that I would be I remember when I was more competitive about, like, if I knew how to do something and other people didn't know how to do it, I wouldn't necessarily just go around and share things that, like, the way I'm doing this is like Skillshare stuff. That wasn't necessarily my MO for most of my career. That was not something I was hyped to do. What's different now, though, is the proliferation of AI art being this sort of go-to solution. It's going to be a disaster for the next generation of artists unless something happens to intercede with that. And I'm realizing now that it's like, it used to be I didn't want competition, because I was like, well, I want to be the best, so other people not being as good as me is good. And I had no interest in, it sounds like a jerk, but I really didn't want to help others improve. Within my ability to help others improve was not itself enough of motivation for me to actually do that. And now I see that the AI and this sort of trend towards artificial creativity is that's not something that I can combat all by myself. I need powerful human allies to beat back that tide. So now it's different. Now I want to get everybody good. I don't know how to do that, but I can do better than nothing, right? Best streamer, you're actually the only streamer I go out to watch. I appreciate that. I wish I had more time to check out what other people are doing. It's tricky. These are really hard. I mean, it's like 5 a.m. right now. I think I was especially motivated to get up early today to do this, only because I knew that there's a good chance that I have to work today. And I'm more interested in doing the streaming stuff now than I am working. I really don't feel like helping. It's not that I don't like my clients, it's just I don't, because I love my clients, but it's very I very much plateaued with what I'm learning from doing storyboard art and sketching. I can admit that. I like this. It's more challenging for me now. This is looking cool. Like, genuinely, I have Twitch notifications on. You're letting the guy follow. Well, that's really sweet to hear. I appreciate the encouragement. The having real human interest is like I'll in a world of bots and inflated metrics and stuff like that. Just like real. I'll take one human like for every, over a billion bot likes. I don't need things to be like, if I do this and I have a lot of attention and engagement, but none of it is from artists or people who are really interested in what I'm trying to impart or teach or learn or have that influence with, then it's not worth it. It really feels like these knuckles are like, they're awesome. They're clenched, they're tense, they're tight. It's just cool. I love when I'm learning about light and composition with this stuff. In advertising, the assignments can be anything. It can be draw giant crowds of people. It can be draw like a burger mascot, sitting at a table. That's why you got to beat the bots and get real human viewers. 100%. I am ready now to embrace the challenge of doing this differently than I've been doing since, when I started. I mean, my work, the work that sustains and pays my bills and provides for my family and stuff like that, all of that was good up to a point. But my work and my clients, they're also embracing doing things differently in a way that doesn't necessarily benefit me. It definitely doesn't benefit most artists for them to sort of use AI instead of concept artists, to use AI instead of real writers, using AI instead of using real designers. They're taking shortcuts with everything. And artists are suffering, and I'm gonna be wary about how I am allying myself with those forces. Says, I used to stream this crappy Roblox game and got 50 plus viewers on a YouTube stream, but it was so unfulfilling. I didn't enjoy it at all. So I'm glad you found something you enjoy. Like, this is great for me. Like, this would be, and it's something I really missed. There was, I mentioned this before, where I'd be in a studio and there'd be like, an intern who, just graduated art school, but literally kind of knew nothing. and their minds were fertile and they wanted to know more. And it was fun riffing with those personalities, being like, okay, this is, it's a little flattering to be considered, someone who has knowledge to impart, but also, understanding that, hey, it's true. And there's a duty there that I didn't really get before, and I didn't realize it either, but my clients are missing out on something by not having physical studios anymore. There's something to be said, of course, about the convenience from work from home. But the way things have gone where you don't get these organic interactions now with artists that can interact and build strength, interpersonal strength within teams, and care about each other the way that they used to. What's happened is now what I do for work, it's been reduced to data that gets sent from an email address to an email address. That's what it is now. It used to be I had a performance that I did in front of a studio audience, basically. But now it's just data that I send through an email chain to select people. It used to be I'd work on a project, and maybe it was a small project, and there'd be a director and a producer. Those are the people I'm interacting with. But meanwhile, there could be 50 people who walk past me in the studio that would look over my shoulder and see me doing an amazing drawing and be like, wow, that guy's really great. I want to know more about him and what he's doing. That's gone now. All that organic interaction is, it's sort of considered obsolete, and it's a tragic thing. I didn't realize I'd miss it when it was gone, but I do. I think I talk about this too much too, but I don't know if it'll come back. But doing this stream is the closest thing I have to that, where I can feel like I can pick up a random interaction with someone who might be just browsing, just like see what else is out there. It's interesting to see like why people pick up one stream. They're like, oh, no one's watching this guy, I'll watch him, What a funny thing. Now I can ask you, like, how come did you just see me floating in the void with like 0 viewers and I'm like, I'll check out this guy? Or did you see me drawing something? Because you don't even like Zelda, so it's like, why would you click on this? It's been pretty kind of funny to me that Jules also doesn't really watch Zelda or isn't a fan, but has remarked that it's been artistically inspiring, and it's just interesting. The more I know, the more I can sort of make inferences about how to get a little bit more effective about the message. Whatever the message is, I'm still honing some of these ideas. When I was telling you earlier about fill 3 sketchbooks and get the fluency down. That's kind of what I'm doing right now with this. Is it's I don't know enough yet about this stuff to be confident in like picking a direction or a voice or a message and committing to it. What I'm doing with this right now is a sort of developing a fluency so that I feel natural just going on stream and drawing. Feel natural going on stream drawing and interacting with people and having a chat, having a draw, and being unattached to outcomes, I think is important. With enough time, I know that and I've been doing this almost a year now. Shout out November or something. Figure that out. See, so I was looking for streams months ago and I found you, and now every time I see you online, I watch it, which is rare because time difference. What is I was trying to ask you, what is your, what time is it where you are? Like here, it's like 5:15 in LA. I'm just gonna quickly look up when my stream anniversary is, if there is such a thing. November 13th, so it's coming up. You live in England. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for the disclosure. Cheers. Sorry. No limey jokes or anything like that. But that's cool. That's awesome. I don't know if I have any other viewers in Great Britain. I don't know. I'm a fan of the Isles. I'm almost entirely Scottish, English, Welsh, and a little bit of Irish, and then probably further set back in time, some Scandinavian and broader white European influences. But you know, I've done that DNA testing stuff, so it's quite in the blood. Yeah, they updated me the other day, Ancestry. They're like, more Scottish ancestry has been found. So I'm 75 to 80% Scottish, turns out. And so my last name, Forward, is it's like an anglicized corruption of the Old English Pharaoh herd, which meant pig farmer. So Pharaoh herd became Forward, and that's my last name. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of where is the I'm trying to figure out if there's any fill for these rocks here. What? Okay, interesting. The hand is coming together so well. Thank you. I don't know if I fully agree, but no, it does. It does look good. It's gonna, you know, this is another complex scene because we're gonna have we have to have a great sense of like momentum and energy, like energy of the hand falling, of the ground sort of exploding underneath it. There's going to be particles. Link himself is leaping towards camera. In the background, there's fire shooting all the way across and exploding. And my favorite little detail is like the fire coming out of here, like out of the eyeballs of the statue. It's kind of cool, right? Long way to go with this stuff, but I've been very pleased with the effectiveness of the workflow that I've been doing. It's quite really has a lot of versatility. I mean, to be able to handle really complex stuff going on with like basically special effects all over the place. This is about as complex as something can be without, I mean, I don't know, like, so much crazy shit. If you look at it long enough, it looks like he is climbing up the wall with a hand below him. Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. That's a fun observation. I wouldn't, if I wasn't married to this idea, I would consider that as an optional compositional arrangement. Now, this is looking too much like gravel right now, but no, you're correct. This isn't. Let me show you something else that I was. There's another composition that I did here. Let's see here. Which one is it? These are all rough sketches that hopefully I'll get to, but it's sort of like this. Oops. You can see a little bit of that, you know, because this is like a top-down view of him escaping from, and again, you're not Zelda savvy, so you don't know, but the hook shot is a really cool sort of grappling hook. Sort of similar energy, similar vibe, sort of to what you're expressing. Like if this was looking at Link climbing a wall and the hand was climbing up. That's a cool idea. Okay, let's go a little further. So this statue here in the background, we're going to add a touch of the blue light to that. It's interesting. It's like, yes, we know that when we draw all the fire, we will probably lose a lot of this blue light detail because it's just going to get overridden by the intensity of the flames, right? But it's still helpful for us to have this start to, it'll feel like we're fleshing out a sense of a reality, creating sort of a base for us to explore the physics of what's to come. It'll be easier for us to make something else look realistic if we make this look realistic first. Not realistic, but viable in terms of like, okay, it's convincing. I can see the sense of space. It's convincing enough. I get a sense of the depth. I can see what needs to happen in the composition. what's happening here. What time is it in England right now? Is it 8 hours ahead or 10? Is it, what does that mean? $12:24. Okay, so it's just entering the. Is it the afternoon or is it midnight? Midday. Okay, so this isn't too crazy for you. But wait a second, you're at school right now, aren't you? So you're like doing what? Got me on your no? Okay, well you don't have to be in school. School's lame. You're like school half term. Sometimes you're like, I'm actually in prison. Or you'd be like, I'm in an insane asylum. I mean, it takes all kinds. That's why you're not usually able to watch the stream. Okay. And so then do you watch it at all on the YouTube? The not so much to make it a diversification, but the I do intend to be exploring the idea of YouTube streaming. One thing I really like about the, and you know this as well, is the YouTube creation tools. Basically all the data and the metrics and stuff like that. That's really cool. Like you can see, I don't know, like the data you can get from it in terms of like, you know, at what point does your audience stop watching, or how long does your audience watch before they click away because it's boring and stuff like that. That's interesting information for me to know. By the way, do you mind if I condense your video and then I can send it to you? I'm quite curious about it. Yeah, please do. I mean, don't expect me to shell tons of cash your way. This is a, I mean, let's put it this way. If you edited it into something that actually got millions of views, I would figure out a way to recompense. But if there was any, because this is something I've been interested in doing, is obviously my stuff is like super long-winded, but the well, it'd be good practice for you. It's something that I don't really have time to do, but the but just so you know, I used to edit wedding video. Editing is not a job that is impossibly easy, so people don't deserve to be paid for it. Treat it as a educational self-exercise, and then please send it to me, and anybody can clip and master, or you know, re-upload or make fun of me or whatever. It's all YouTube. It's all fair game. This, like, I don't own Zelda. I don't own the stuff that I'm making fan art of. This is stuff that this is here for educational purposes, and it's not. I don't even monetize this. You know, as you know, I don't run ads because I'm atoning for the sins of living in commercial space my entire life. I can do better than that. Do you have a work email? Or yeah, I totally do. Yeah. It's maxforward@gmail.com. So if you just spell out my name, maxforward@gmail.com, you can email me anything or a link. Or if you just introduce yourself through that, I can send you a link to my G Drive. It's simple, because I've got terabytes of storage on my G Drive. Yeah, and if you wanted, like obviously these, you know, I could send you screen captures of these as JPEGs if that's helpful. If you thought it would be, like, you're like, okay, you know, having like some resolution or fidelity to look at something if you wanted to. Because this is something I'm realizing is the part of this is also like whatever it is that I need to do and I don't know what it is, but then like I can't do it alone, you know, and it's not like I'm like enlisting, you know, enlisting teenagers to aid me as the solution, but it's something where it's like there's probably pitfalls and minefields to be avoided, but younger people are capable of doing creative work. They absolutely are. And it's and YouTube, the fact that I watch people half my age on YouTube and I'm extremely entertained by the stuff that they put together is just a testament to that. And I'll check out some of your vids too. I think that would be a nice thing that I could give a shot. I can't promise I'll love them, but I'll give them a like nonetheless, and try to be encouraging. Your titles are really generic, like 180 or 181, which is another reason why you're not getting discovered. Well, that's interesting. I don't really I mean, you can tell me what to do better, I suppose, but the obviously you have more views than I do, but I think so. There are some things where it's like, honestly, probably being a little bit under the radar for the time being is going to be advantageous to me. It'll be a problem if my clients sort of discover. I'm not hiding it from them. Like they see the microphone on my Zoom calls and they're like, wow, you got a cool setup. And I'm like, yeah, I'm streaming, you know. They're like, oh, cool. You know, and they just figure I'm not doing anything special with it. And I'm not. But like if it turned out they found out that I had a big following, that wouldn't necessarily be great for my work prospects. So not being discovered isn't something I'm anguished about. This doesn't need to turn into... This is something that if I'm able to be monetized in any sort of moderate way, nominal way, within the next 5 to 10 years, I'd be happy with that. But like, I expect nothing in the short term. You don't have much views on your current channel. I mean, you're 15 and barely getting started, so it's same as me, pretty much, you know. These baby steps, you know. That would be so cool to see you with a big following. I think I deserve not necessarily big, but I want an effective means to put out. It's interesting. I don't have I'm not particularly optimistic about my ability to live long. So and what's frustrating is my children right now are too young and they feel like they're not, like, like my daughter's very artistic, but when I sit down and I try to teach her how to draw stuff, she's like, Dad, you're annoying. I can do this by myself. And I'm like, okay, well, if I do this, I can record it, put it up, and, you know, even if I'm gone, she can look at it and maybe pick up what I was trying to say. And then anybody can too. And as long as it's humans, I'll be happy about that. I'm not sure what could or should happen in this really far background, but what if it was... this will all get totally obliterated by the fire. Like if we look at the rough sketch, the background for this image, like you don't even see the back wall, you don't see anything. So it's silly for me to like think about what's going on way back, far back there. But part of it is like, I do want to know the perspective of the room and have these, you're so pessimistic, you're not going to die soon, lol. I don't know. I feel like my heart has, I just need to get more exercise. I've been too sedentary, really. I feel healthy. I'm certainly not in any chronic pain, but, you know, my tendency to get drunk and fall on my face, for instance, like I could have seriously injured myself, and, you know, bad stuff can happen. A lot of artists take themselves out, you know, accidentally, like without, you know, necessarily, I don't know. I just want to, make use of, I'm done thinking that life will be forever there and I can just get to getting around to doing what I want to do. I want to do it now. I'm ready to make a move, be a little bit more ambitious, go from zero ambition to something. If you know it's exercise, the problem is try, sort it out. I just need to, certainly right now it's difficult. I've got my my in-laws staying with us for a few more days, so like where I would normally like try to do some yoga in my living room, I there's no privacy right now, so there's no sense of comfort or ease in attempting to do much. When you have house guests, it's like you're constantly entertaining. It's nice having a long stream where I don't feel super rushed to get stuff out and up. It's not a big deal. I wake up at 5 a.m. and go on a run. You are good to exercise yourself at a young age. That's great. That's a great habit. Okay, I'm going to go one more hour. This has been a productive stretch, so let's keep it up. Just do, before your morning stream, do something. Yeah, I agree. It's, the streaming has been really healthy for me overall because it, I realized if I'm going to do this well, I need to do it in the morning before my kids get up so that I can do it consistently. And so that just totally shifted my the pattern of my entire day, so that instead of staying up late and when it's late at night, all my willpower is gone because I'm tired. So I would, you know, drink and just out of boredom and convenience. And that was no good for me. Now I've been doing the early streams for probably 6 months straight. It's really changed my drinking habits. Yeah, it's all yeah. Like I've lost about 20 pounds, and I'm even a better artist for it. Yeah, it's just because I've been consistent with it. And then the best part is that I didn't have to sacrifice much. Just a little bit of, you know, drowsy morning sleep. That's okay. It's better to do what I'm doing this way than it's like if I have to miss out on a little sleep to achieve my goals, then it's worth it. It's you're definitely not a child, but I appreciate the word of encouragement. I need the I mean, because it's simple. It's just like a matter of what is it? It's like common sense, right? Early to bed, early to rise, etc., etc. So yeah, although it isn't super crucial, the small amount of, like, it's super subtle what I'm doing, but whereas previously we just had like a blob of blue light spray on his face, now I'm actually trying to model it a little bit more into the contours. Because I think that's helpful. It's helpful for me to see and treat the face as real. Oh yeah, it's working. Head on off. Yeah. Thank you for, I like your video editing suggestion. You know, and it's something that's like, you don't have to. If you don't do it, I'll do it eventually, I think. Like, I do want to do recaps, but mostly think on it. Let me, you can email me at that address that I said, and it's, if you want to do a follow-up, and yeah, I just don't want to, you know, it's like I don't want to explode, but I don't want to sort of be irrelevant either on the internet. There's got to be some sort of sweet spot where we can get the message to the masses. You know, if this is helpful, it could be helpful to many people. So let's see what we can do. You're supposed to be studying for your GCSE mocks. You should study for those mocks. I have no idea what that is. But yes, stay in school, and when you are done studying, do some sketching, and then when you're bored of doing all that, you can follow up. And I can at least send you some high-resolution Zelda imagery, or not that one necessarily, but the this one I'm really proud of. I'm going to post this to Reddit today. If you go to the Zelda r Reddit r/Zelda or whatever, I'm going to post it in probably like an hour or maybe less. And hopefully it'll get some of that Halloween traction or something like that. We'll see how it goes. But Inferno, thanks for popping by, and I'll catch you on the next one. Well, it's like English qualification exams, but you know English. It's like one of the most important exams we do in the UK. All right, see you around, man. Adios, as I like to say. Be a fun idea to have. Well, what would a video, like an edited video, consist of? Tricky because it begs the question, like, what am I doing? What am I trying to say? When I look online and I look at the YouTube stuff, well, this YouTube stuff I look at, a lot of it is like commentary channel stuff, brain rot, etc. Drama. I do watch like art drama YouTube streams just to see like what is the what's the trend? What's the and is that something I want to have anything to do with? And I've really got no interest in having anything like a feud or drama with any other creator. That would not be what I want. I feel like that is a that's sort of a cheapness, the antithesis of like acting out to get attention. Get you attention, and I guess if attention equals success, then that's one way to do it. But I think I would like to be when I'm gone. See, the interesting thing is so much, like my entire career has just been behind the scenes stuff. Like in an early stage of the pipeline that ultimately creates cool things, but the people who get a lot of the credit I'm not part of the equation that gets the credit. I get paid, but I don't get recognition. And in fact, I might have mentioned this the other day, but I tried to ask a client if I could use the work that I did. I mean, I'll say it. Some of the last work I did on Apex was really good, and I wanted to use it for, it's probably a little cringe, but the Concept Art Association had a storyboard art nomination. I don't know, it's like a contest or something like that. There were awards they were going to give out for storyboarding, and I was like, I never do this. I don't do self-promotion. It's like I'm new to it at least, but I was like, hey, I know we all signed NDAs, but it's been over a year. The product is released. Like the project, it's not a secret anymore. What do you say about me, using that work and throwing my hat in for this storyboarding recognition, this award, theoretically, or I don't know, it's a judging is what it was. There's certainly no guarantees on me winning or getting recognized for it, but I wanted to do right by my clients, and so I asked them, and I was like, okay, they'll probably say thanks for asking, and we wanted to make sure it was good, and we did, and go ahead, and best of luck, you did great, and we want to work with you again, etc., etc., etc. What I got back was a pretty firm no, and no, you can't. And that, I guess, is the downside. I mean, you live by the sword, you die by the sword, but that is the markets for right now out there for freelance artists are tough, and I really would have appreciated having the latitude to use that stuff as samples to market myself. You know, if I won or we even got close to winning, that would be some decent press for me. It's not to say I'm not paid well when I do that work. I was paid well to do what I did, and you could see from the client's point of view that they're sort of paying me well to keep my mouth shut and not take the credit, but I don't know. I don't know if that... Like, that's a good enough equation when the work is steady. But when the work is scarce, and the networking right now, like I can't network in person the way at a studio the way I used to, you know, having those in-person connections. It's not an option the way it used to be. It just got me questioning the way I used to justify keeping myself in check. And it's true that as long as the work was flowing, I didn't have anything to complain about. Adding more work onto an already busy schedule wasn't going to improve things much. But being a little bit busier now would be welcome. Well, at least financially. Anyway, my agent called me last night. She gave me a lead on a client needs to use me for revisions today. Apparently the other artist is not available. Like, who's this other guy? It's not a big deal, but... Again, I'm like... Well, we'll see. Make a little money. Make a good impression. One job at a time. That's all you have to do. Looks like I forgot to color this section. Let's turn off this stuff. It's been up there long enough. Not sure if I've done an exemplary job on these digits, but I might be able to get away with something here. Just by keeping them simple. They don't have to be the perfect hands drawn in proportion, perfect proportion, perfect foreshortening or anything like that. It's more about the thrust and the energy. Whoa, oh no. Making marks on top of the line layer. Ooh, not good. Okay, it doesn't look like I got too far with it, thank goodness. Sloppy. do that. Out of curiosity, so I know we all remember, but we have these sort of dynamic or the ambient occlusion layers and the design shading layers that can provide even more information. Oh, this is interesting too. There's this kind of stray line here. It's like a sketch line. I don't mind a little energy, but that doesn't correspond to something physical. Anyway, having this sort of mindless rendering and modeling distraction today is kind of a fun and welcome way to spend the morning. It can be really subtle, but sometimes just the effect of making these small distinctions can really help settle the mind. Helping the mind sort of autocomplete decisions such as like, well, what's going which way and what's going the other, and decisions that might have gone either way become more clear. It's self-evident that so-and-so is the case. You can just build momentum off of that. Like, given the modeling here of the light direction of this light, the form feels more complete. Since the form feels complete, like more established in like 3D space, like there's subtle tonal variations here, but they can be cranked up. Like if we increase the brightness and contrast, go like this. And now look how modeled that is. It's very clear what the shapes are doing, how the light is interacting. This is weirdly exposed, but the information is organized and it's clear. So now it's not just the same amount of guesswork when we add more complex lighting situations that are going to happen next, where in the back we'll have fire spewing. I'll do the fire stuff next stream. I think it's okay to take, probably extremely advisable to do this in bite-sized chunks that feel manageable. Break away, digest it a bit, and then come back later. I'm excited to post that, the Link versus Guinea composition. My theory is that there will be some... That's fun, because this is all just like an experiment. Like, given this, what do I think will happen? If I create an image that has spooky appeal, Halloween appeal, and I post it the day before Halloween, will that make an impact? Will that make a difference? Will that be something audiences resonate with, or will it be cringe, or will it be... Will it not be... Will it be a drop in the bucket because Halloween stuff is overexposed and I just like... It becomes white noise, right? That's a thing that could happen, I think. Hadn't considered that. But my hypothesis is that tomorrow, which is actually Halloween, will be a big distraction for people, and there will be a lot of white noise, maybe specifically tomorrow about it. But that today, the day before Halloween, there might not be. Also, when I posted on Reddit, which is where I'm hoping to get a good result, Reddit actually has good metrics about the interactions and the views and the upvotes and downvotes that it gets in the first 48 hours. And this being the day before Halloween, I will get information on how it is tracking just before Halloween and then just after, or the day of. What's going on here? Ears can be very oily and therefore shiny. And fingertips, I guess, can be too, but in this case, let's think of Link as dirty, and then therefore maybe not spectacularly reflective on his hands, the way he might normally be if he was sort of in a cleaner environment and not messing around in the muck. if just a tad more. God. Finding it difficult to get that initial first perfect color pick that I strive for. I think I'm holding myself back a little bit. I could stand to be bolder with it. Where appropriate, it's still appropriate to make things look shiny. Subtly but surely making those material distinctions distinct. Minutes, I'm going to wrap it up. Go just a little further. Sort of laughing at this indecision right here where I'm not sure what to make of my decision to not make a decision with the foreshortening here. Just the mass of his leg essentially being somewhat halfway in between his pants and his tunic. Indistinguishable. It's not a grave sin, but something I'll have to account for later. Eventually. It'll probably just dissolve into shadow, so no biggie, but again, more indecision here. Not deciding whether or not to have this stuff be pure line or ambiguous. I sort of went with a half-shaded broad line, sort of straddling. Essentially, like, okay, I'll decide this eventually. And now I'm here and I'm like, I don't know what decision to make. There is something about, the energy and the impulse, The answer might become clearer later. If I can't clearly communicate the form, maybe just the intention or the energy or the compression or the, did I say tension? Right, feeling pretty good about the progress so far on this. So much of the piece is just going to be dictated by the explosion of fire behind him that is going to be immense and dominating the composition as well as the atmosphere. Conveying all that energy. So we'll start here, go from here. It's cute. All right, good enough. All right, if anybody's listening, thanks for popping in, and I will catch you next time. Oh, and if you use Reddit at all, go to Reddit, r/Zelda. I'll post the this guy. And you can vote on it and make it a viral success for me. It'll be wonderful. All right. Cool. Till next time. Thanks, everybody. Adios.